Welcome, everyone, to another episode of this Halloween week special. It might not be on the day of Halloween, but gosh freaking darn it, I hope you guys enjoyed Mutober while it lasted. In the meantime, here we have a what should have been Halloween themed special from our very own Grayshot 151. An old
Hey,
Shot.
yeah. An old story written a long time ago. A Japanese horror story by Grayshot 151. Let's begin.
Say hi to the audience, Grayshot.
hi everyone. Yeah, I wrote this quite a few years ago, but I figured for the Halloween, it was pretty appropriate.
Or Halloween week special, but whatever.
Yes, yes. Halloween weekly special.
Hope this is better than the ones that we've read, than the things we've read before.
I assure you it's not.
This is worse. Way worse.
Oh.
We will see.
I think we'd all rather see King Ghidorah plus.
Let's
Yeah.
begin.
Oh.
Godzilla rose from the
Fanfiction of that fanfiction.
Godzilla rose from the freezing, dark depths of the ocean as he reached the coastline of Monster Island. His home glowed under the full moon while he walked ashore. After his long journey, the monster was happy to be home. The king of the monsters scanned the shoreline for any of his companions, merely to notice no signs of anyone. The dinosaur, wanting to reach his den to rest, that just sounds funny to me, then began to trek inland. Trees snapped under Leviathan steps, not the Leviathan, just under Leviathan.
Wait, who's Leviathan?
Yeah, the who.
Wow, it's a good thing this guy never became the head of the KWC or anything.
Trees snapped under Leviathan steps, though the dinosaur stopped moving as he felt something other than plant life under his massive heels. What could
Godzilla now is a crossdresser.
Massive heels. Oh, I can only imagine Godzilla wearing heels now. Dang it, Grayshot. How dare you? The dinosaur looked at the forest to discover some type of purple metal scrap along with the brown residue covering most of the vegetative life around him, including trees, bushes, man-eaters, as well as grass. Holy
Ass.
crap. That sentence was long and awkwardly constructed. Holy
164.
As the creature rose...
I mean, it's covering a lot, man. It just goes on and on.
Yeah, it just goes on
Yeah.
and on and on. A little bit of bonus points for referencing the man-eaters. Taking away points for how awkwardly this is all constructed. As the creature rose, he noticed another startling fact. The fact that there wasn't a comma in between rose and he. Anyway.
Tisk fucking tisk.
Move on, you grammar Nazi.
The island was silent. No birds sung, no grasshoppers chirped, the pants were dead. as well as no monster was making a sound. That also sounded really strange to me. I hope I'm not going mad. After the other fanfics we've read, I might be going mad. We'll see.
When's Ren?
Oh yeah, when Ren. That is, until a shriek, unlike anything the dinosaur ever heard before, echoed across the island. It was Ren! Anyway.
Ren's in his den.
Yeah! Concluding an enemy creature, known as Ren, had attacked his home, Godzilla started moving forward toward the noise. Why is there a semicolon there? That should just be a comma.
Because I was an idiot 4 years ago.
Okay, fair enough.
And
Or
you're an
is it
idiot
right?
now.
You're welcome.
Guys, I'm probably gonna be leaving in a bit because I'm gonna go visit my brother's new house.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Nagoda, why don't you chime in, and then Kaiju X will restart. I
Okay.
mean,
so,
re-go
wait.
from speaking.
I'll
So
take
just start
over.
with
I'll
Where
take
did you
over.
guys end off?
I'll take
The
over
small
Nagoda's
four-legged
parts.
crimson.
I'll take over Nagoda's parts.
Okay.
Where I'm trying to find that. Where is that at?
Legged crimson dinosaur.
Oh, okay, I see you
The
now.
mouthful.
How
can't
many do
miss
you
it.
want me? How much do I read?
Just go as much as you can.
Okay, I'll try reading the 8 at least. Okay. The small four-legged crimson dinosaur with large red ears and a small nasal horn, known to humanity as Baragon, chomped onto Godzilla's shoulder, causing the dinosaur to stagger backwards. That is a really long sentence.
Wait, you literally skipped over a paragraph.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Shit.
As the beast passed by Mantis Cliff.
Fucking great
Okay.
shot.
Sorry.
He just wants to get past this a lot faster. As the
this
beast
is the
passed
Great
by
Shot from
Manda's
the future.
cliffside,
So, go ahead.
his worry grew as there was no sign of the dragon, even though he's more of a serpent, but still. As he passed a hole in the rock
I thought it
wall,
was a sheep.
the sound of intense breathing caused the nuclear leviathan to appear. Two yellow eyes stared back at the king of the monsters, only for the hiding creature to lunge at Godzilla. The small four-legged crimson dinosaur with large red ears and a small nasal horn known to humanity as Baragon chomped onto Godzilla's shoulder, causing the dinosaur to stagger backwards. Really long sentences, Gray Shot.
You're welcome.
Godzilla growled in annoyance while the small beast sunk its dagger-like teeth into his thick hide, piercing his charcoal skin and digging into the flesh beneath, until the king of the monsters grabbed a hold of the small red dinosaur and tossed him against the wall of rock. Once more, really long sentences.
You can expect more of them, I assure you.
Godzilla expected Baragon to continue its attack, only to discover the red lizard was stagnant against the nearby cliffside. The burrowing dinosaur was extremely pale, with massive gashes, blood, as well as other severe wounds covering him. That was fast. Godzilla killed him, so he did that much damage in one hit, didn't he? Why are you so weak, Baragon?
Read the next sentence.
Baragon's severe condition revealed to Godzilla the brutality of the island's newest visitor.
Hey, it wasn't Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, he is just
There's a few
he is
awkward
wandering
spaces.
the island, so with nothing he could do for the deceased lizard, he
Wait,
died.
before that sentence, there's a few awkward spaces, from what I could see.
Oh.
So wait, so did Godzilla just snap Baragon's spine, killing him instantly? Then
No. From what it says,
He
and
gave him
as
a
the writer,
poster.
I can translate as the base. Baragon attacked. Godzilla threw him off, and and Baragon, that was all he could do. He was basically dying. He lunged in panic.
okay,
As it was read, he was covered in blood. He was pale from blood loss, and there were sharp gashes across. So something attacked him. Baragon fled, and when Godzilla showed up, Baragon attacked him in defense.
okay. With nothing he could do for the deceased lizard, Godzilla turned away and began his trek inland to find Baragon's aggressor. Clouds
So you
blocked the
say
full.
Baragon is Baragon.
Hey!
And that, ladies and gentlemen, we add another loss to the score.
Yeah. To a match that's
Even
not
though
even
he
on-
did nothing.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he did more here than in match 56.
That's true. Well, here's the thing. This is already better than the Baggin trilogy. It's like the writer here is more competent than the other one.
Oh, I got a compliment. Oh my god.
And it's like, holy shit. It's like, after reading a few paragraphs, this person gets the idea of what a story is, compared to that other person.
Yeah.
Take it in now, Gray Shot. This is the only compliment you'll ever get out of Alex.
Clouds.
So, continue, Nagoda.
Wait, so are you saying over time? Clouds blocked the full moon as Godzilla continued his journey. More of the organic gunk, as well as the purple metal, covered the familiar ground while he searched for the mysterious intruder. Then, as he noticed familiar landmarks indicating he was close to his lair, Godzilla changed directions to his inland home.
Oh yeah,
His
like
son,
the
Junior.
Tokyo Tower, the Eiffel Tower, the Empire State Building, all the familiar
The
landmarks
Golden
of
Gate
Monster
Bridge.
Island.
Godzilla changed directions to his inland home.
Oh, wait, here's a familiar landmark. After Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and Kong fought, Godzilla brought Kong home with him as a souvenir, because with with the Tokyo Tower still impaling his asshole.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
His son, Junior, resided on the island, and even with his simplistic mind, Godzilla knew Junior's welfare mattered far more than his newest foe, because Junior needs money. Godzilla doesn't. Junior knows a human that can buy him stuff.
It's not a healthy
God, I
habit.
hate this generation.
I like how he's only caring for Junior, and he doesn't really care about Minya, right?
Yeah, I
Junior's the
also like
only
how
one
he
that matters.
basically switched motivation from tracking down the monster to finding Junior in the span of a second. You know, good job, writer.
Yeah, totally keeping focused priorities here, Big G.
Don't you guys know?
Godzilla sauruses are like clownfish. They could change their gender.
Oh, we'll get,
He
we'll
needed
get to,
Godzilla Jr. to survive so they could repopulate.
we'll get to sources in a sec. Nagoda. Continue.
Okay. A figure appeared to be moving in the distance. Unable to see who or what it was, Godzilla roared to the being in his presence. The shadowy individual turned towards the reptile before it began to move toward him awkwardly. Even with the darkness impairing his vision, Godzilla realized who the creature was as it stumbled closer to him. The dark silhouette of a large head, in addition to its large legs, indicated it was Gorosaurus. A massive green tyrannosaur that also called Monster Island home after King Kong came off his island.
He then said, "Look what happened," and fell down.
Yes. Godzilla, now with an ally, moved towards his friend to find out what was occurring, only for Gorosaurus to stab him with some type of blade attached to his left arm. Okay, Mechanic Kong, I guess you have another slave. A screech of pain sounded from the king as he recoiled in pain, apparently.
Alright.
Is Nagoda dying like every second? Like he's
Yeah, I
just
know,
like
right?
dying.
Oh, I'm talking
Oh,
too
you're
much.
killing him.
They're trying to take out and clean my tortoise's tank in the same room.
Oh, jeez.
Poor tortoise. Never stood a chance.
They're putting on gloves, so yeah. Nuclear energy flowed into his dorsal fins as he prepared to counter his allies' assault, merely for the light displayed by his spines to reveal him a newly deformed ally. Another long sentence right there. Gorosaurus's head lay unnaturally twisted backwards, as a new stump with 3 red antennae protruded from where his head should have rested.
I know
What
where
did you
this is
do,
going.
Mechanic Kong? Mechanic Kong, what have you done?
Yeah, right.
A massive blade of deformed bone took place of its small left arm, while the rest of his body displayed a foul brown coloration that resembled something dead instead of the beast's natural green coloration. Once again, Mechanic Kong is a monster. Look what he's done to Gorosaurus. He's even worse than King Kong, who refuses to kill Gorosaurus. At least Mechanic Kong killed Gorosaurus.
You mean, look what happened?
Yes, look what happened. The distorted dinosaur, I'm not sure you can call him that because he's dead and has mechanical parts now, unleashed a sickly sounding screech into the air from his non-existent, what's it called, vocal cords, before it jumped at Godzilla with surprising agility for its appearance. A blast of blue atomic energy impacted the dinosaur, causing him to fall to the ground. However, Gorosaurus was back up in an instant and swiped his quote-unquote friend, even though because they never met before, with his newly formed bony claws, somehow forming them through mutations by Mechanic Kong's doing.
Oh, you'll find out. Mechanic Kong is pure evil.
Alright.
I mean, his name is Prometheus apparently, and he's also part Kong stuck inside a robot suit.
Yeah.
Is there going to be another Mechanic Kong called Covenant?
No, that's Kiryu, don't you know?
Yeah.
We have Power Ranger Jet Jaguar, Prometheus, Mechanicong, and Covenant the Mechagodzilla.
That works.
Lost track where it was. I'm trying to find it.
Godzilla countered.
Godzilla countered by falling at the beast, but the distorted dinosaur did not react, as if it could not feel any pain, because it's dead and is now a machine, cyborg, whatever you want to call it. The nuclear Leviathan's spines flashed, and another blast of energy from Godzilla burned a hefty hole in the creature's abdomen, leaving a trash bag. But to Godzilla's surprise, Gorosaurus continued to stand. As the deformed dinosaur continued stumbling forward on its zombie-like legs, Godzilla swung its large tail. The limb struck Gorosaurus' head, causing a sickly snap. I mean, his head is kind of snapped behind already. Did he right the head, put it back where it's supposed to be? Godzilla slowly turned to face his attacker. But to his surprise, Gorosaurus' large head lay on the ground, a few hundred meters from his yet his body was still moved. Bad grammar. Bad grammar. From his
the
yet
hell?
his body.
Damn it, Grayshot.
Where's his wait, what's a yet? Where's his yet on his body?
Where is his yet?
The world may never know.
The headless body of the dinosaur inexplicably dashed at Godzilla, simply for the nuclear Leviathan to unleash.
Inexplicable
dash.
dashed.
Yes. Unleash one final blast of pure, concentrated radiation. I mean, he practically was already headless, because his head was kind of snapped behind his back and replaced with a giant cyborg antenna thing.
Yeah, so
Flame.
basically, Gorosaurus, I just want to make note, with a
Across
hole
the
through his
ring.
chest and decapitated, is still fighting Godzilla. So,
Flames ignited across the remaining deformed body of Gorosaurus. The blaze finally enough to bring the monstrosity to the ground. In the sky
Gorosaurus is
above,
dead, and he became an angel with a halo.
yes, he wanted to go join Anguirus in Good Guy Heaven.
Except Gorosaurus can never get out.
He's trapped in that cyborg body. He can never escape anymore. He has to live through this every day of his life now, repeating the same day over and over.
Oh, it's like
In the
it's like that new shitty looking movie, Happy Death Day. Or
Oh, don't
Groundhog
you mean
Day.
In the
Edge of
sky-
Don't you mean Edge of Tomorrow, but a horror movie?
Yeah.
You mean Groundhog Day, but a horror movie?
Accurate.
In the sky above Gasawara Islands, the clouds passed. The moon's gaze fell to the victorious Leviathan as a clown's face appeared, saying down here. With the light rejuvenating his eyes, Godzilla scanned his dead former ally and noticed his skin coloration was the same as the residue all over the island. So the island's brown.
that's what
Like
it said
dirt.
about 3 paragraphs ago.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Wait, what?
That girl not the only monster to be
Uh,
affected from whatever had come to his island. Pass.
Okay. Kaiju X, good luck.
Oh, so okay. So I'm going to be reading the next 9, I guess. I suppose.
Or whatever, you can just pass it and I can just read.
I mean, I want to finish what I started though, for the most part. So, yeah, because
You
Nagoda
will
had to go,
finish what
has
started.
to go in a bit, so he has to go.
Yeah, he's gotta go to bed, yes. Gotta go tuck him in.
He has to go.
Grayshot, Kaiju X, you two make such great parents.
Well, we're parents of the KWC, so that should say something.
Yeah. Yeah, all 150 of them.
Yeah. All right. With worry for his son, Godzilla hastily walked toward his home. The rocky indentation in the hill became clearer as he closed in, yet it was farther from how he remembered leaving it. There should be commas there. Blood as well as guts lay scattered outside of the den, while small fires danced around the entrance. The next horrifying thing to Godzilla's discovery was the dead corpse of his greatest ally, Anguirus. The giant ankylosaur lay mutilated on the ground with nothing but its head as well as its carapace left intact.
Angus is now an angel with a halo on his head.
Good guy Anguirus is left with good guy Gorosaurus. Anyway.
And
Top 10
Baragon.
satisfying way doubts.
Baragon's
Does-
not a good guy. He's just hungry.
That
Everything else appeared to have been sliced off the deceased dinosaur's torso. Then, slightly farther into his home, Godzilla discovered his song along with Kumonga in addition to Varan, who were repulsively distorted like Gorosaurus. That's another really long sentence with only one comma. Only one. I mean, and honestly, what were Kumonga Jr. and Varan doing? That must have been one crazy party they had. Oh, we'll see in a bit.
They had a rave.
Yeah!
yeah, a blood rave.
Yeah, Blood Rave. Yeah, there we go.
Poor Anguirus was the sacrifice.
Yeah. Poor Anguirus.
We all know Angus survived because he had enough good guy points to get back.
Yeah. He'll be back by the next story. Don't worry about it.
He'll be back in the very next match.
Yeah. The nuclear Leviathan first looked at Kumonga and Varan, whom possessed the strange discoloration, massive bony spikes, distorted features, as well as 3 red antennae on their newly formed heads. Another really long, strange sentence, just as strange as discoloration, but a word today's word is coloration and discoloration. Those are today's words. Repulsed by this site, by this website,
Yep.
Godzilla.
Godzilla then slowly changed his attention to his son. Punctures, slashes, as well as bite marks lined Junior's body, which
Kinky.
which was not distorted like the other monsters in any way. Godzilla moaned in agony before his spines flashed with power. A nuclear mist escaped his maw, one of pure radiation in a feeble attempt to
Resuscitate.
Okay, resuscitate.
Today's word of the day: resuscitate.
Yes.
Resuscitate? Ruh-roh.
To resuscitate his child only for him to remain motionless. Damn it, just like in the movie, said Godzilla. Anyway. The Leviathans... There we go. It's the Leviathans. Very good. We're getting somewhere.
Good job, Gray Shot. You get a gold star.
The Leviathan's spines afterwards sparked with energy, yet it was not of sadness but anger. Not of sadness but anger. There's no comma. Dang blast it. Pure rage flowed through Godzilla.
I'm gonna be cool. There's no comma. I will go into your Kaiju X. I will go to your next match and say, should have been a comma here. Should have been a comma here. Oh boy, guys, this is a comma release time.
Go right on
For
ahead.
once, Gray Shot's wearing the pants.
Who realizes...
I don't stand up. I'm just. I get it. Comma.
Comma this, comma that. Some of them I skipped over because I knew we'd be dragging on too long if I pointed out every last point where there should be a comma. Anyway. Pure rage flowed through Gray Shot, who realized that this match needed more commas. Who realized his son was truly dead. In an act of fury, to your credit, it's at least fury, not furry like some past KWCs. The dinosaur discharged an energized atomic ray on the dead, misshapen corpses beside Junior until they were but ash. Another really long sentence.
It should have been a comma there.
I will find you.
Godzilla, with no reason to stay.
Oh,
left-
look, commas.
Oh, look, commas in the proper places. Very good.
Oh, look,
Christian.
awkward spacing issue.
This is starting to sound like my essay I just got back from my English teacher where I was missing so many commas.
Oh my goodness. Godzilla, with
Sure,
no
ain't
reason to
great.
stay, left his den in a state of unparalleled wrath. A sickening sound of screeches drew the lizard's attention toward the center of the island, causing the lizard to start its movement toward the sound to unleash his built-up rage. That could have been phrased better. Oh well.
His built-up rager.
Yeah. The nuclear Leviathan walked into the island's central valley, noticing a massive sleek alien purple ship. What? A massive sleek alien purple ship. There are no
Yeah,
commas.
exactly. Hey, it's descriptions. You don't need the commas. Just speak fast enough, and you don't need them.
Yeah, you just need to be fast enough so that way it hits you in the head. What the heck is
Who the-
that? Who's playing?
TV. I believe that's the architect playing something because he
Oh,
realized.
I'm not playing anything.
Free horror music.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
ghost.
Nagoda's good.
Next time, Grayshot, actually pay attention before you accuse someone of doing something.
I just hear.
Yeah.
Listen, I go after the trashy troll of the KWC, and you were just. I mean, I just assumed it was you. Get it together.
We
Wait,
live in
you guys-
2017. Don't assume anything, boy.
Yeah.
A massive crater surrounded the vessel while white flames.
Oh wait, he's infected by what we all know what it is.
Yeah. A massive crater surrounded the vessel while white flames burned all over the ship.
It's architect. Kaiju X, GVZ. Do you two know what this is?
Honestly, not yet. Let me keep reading and see if I can figure it out. But honestly,
Hints and
I
everything
actually
he's
don't.
saying.
Right. Honestly, I don't quite know yet.
I think I might know.
Though I think.
Of some sort.
Okay, I jumped ahead just a bit. I was like, oh, okay, so that's what that is. All right, spoilers. I'm not gonna say anything though. I'll let it be a surprise to the
Yes,
audience. Reading.
Yep. Continue.
Just let me do my thing.
Continue.
I'm trying to find. That's right, purple ship. A massive crater surrounded the vessel with white flames burned all over the ship, along with the mysterious sickly brown coating that was present on the other monsters. Godzilla, realizing this was the cause, prepared to unleash nuclear energy from its jaws only on the vessel for a series of shrieks to stop his assault. The island's giant pteranodon known as Rodan, the large green ogre called Gabara, and the gigantic red shrimp-like crustacean named Ebera all suddenly surrounded Godzilla. Each monster possessed the strange substance on them in addition to major deformations like the King of the Monsters discovered earlier on Gorosaurus, Varan, and Kamunga. Gabara, distorted to a frightening degree, possessed now extremely long arms with 3 major blades at the end of each arm. Possessed now extremely long arms. Possessed now. Rodan's once majestic wings were gone, eroded, allowing his arms to freely move, and Ebera's hide now possessed spikes as well as bulbous sacs that unnaturally grew through the crustacean shell. Each creature, unlike Gorosaurus, remained perfectly still, staring at Godzilla. Staring at Godzilla.
Wow, these kaiju are about to fly to Godzilla.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to take them all at one time.
We'll see how Godzilla does. Godzilla watched cautiously, each being monstrosity before the ground violently shook. What? Godzilla watched, cautiously each, being monstrosity, before the ground violently shook. What?
Oh boy.
What
All-
is this sentence?
It's going to take a lot more than commas to fix that one. All around the valley, large tentacles burst through the ground. At least
Some sexy hentai.
I've seen enough Japanese media to know where this is going. At least 24 of the appendages burst through the earth before a large plant or parasitic-like central body revealed itself as the origin of the tentacles. The hideous creature with a mouth like that of a Venus flytrap, a body like a plant stem, and towering about 50 meters above Godzilla.
Oh, so it's Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors.
The grave mind looked down at the Leviathan before, in a language Godzilla could understand. What? In a language Godzilla could understand? Are we talking like Nebulans recording tapes here?
I think we're talking about a creature that assumes everything it absorbs, and if it can absorb all these monsters, they can speak monster language or make.
Oh, okay. I get it now. All right.
For those that don't know what this is,
Yeah.
hint, hint, wink, wink.
Hint, hint, wink, wink. Godzilla could understand mode in a deep, booming voice. Do not be afraid. I am peace. I am
salvation!
Godzilla just stared at the abomination before it sent a thunderous roar at the parasitic creature.
Do you think you can defeat me?
Questioned Gravemind.
I am.
What the heck? Oh, whatever.
Flesh and mind and boners.
Godzilla responded by discharging an atomic ray onto the horrendous parasitic life form, causing it to shriek in pain.
Meanwhile, Nagoda's having a conversation with someone.
Yeah, why don't we mute Nagoda while he vacuums his room and cleans a tortoise and apparently tortures the thing while he cleans it. just so that we don't get a vacuum in the sound like while the tortoise runs away.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I have
Or flies
now,
away.
so. All right. Godzilla responded. Okay, there we go. Godzilla responded by discharging the atomic ray onto the horrific parasitic life form, causing it to shriek in pain. As the central brain recoiled, the three other infected forms lunged at the Leviathan. Rodan.
They're flooding him.
Hey, there we go. That was your first hint / the answer. Rodan, as well as Ebra, with no commas to emphasize that, quickly sent multiple thrusts with their bony blades into the lizard as Gabra from afar inserted its arms blades into Godzilla. Arms blades. The nuclear Leviathan, after taking multiple jabs, grabbed Rodan's form and tossed him at Ebra. As the lizard readied to remove Gabra's tentacles from its body, the infected ogre unleashed electricity through his grip into Godzilla. Millions of volts of electricity coursed through the dinosaur's body, stunning the king of the monsters a few moments as it channeled radiation through its spines. Then, in a bright blue flash, Godzilla unleashed a concentrated burst of energy on the appendages. The heat blast cut the deformed ogre's arms in half before Godzilla removed Gabra's hand spikes from his body. Congratulations! I have one more to go through. One more! Gabra stopped for the moment. Godzilla turned to face the other two mutated foes, merely for Ebra to thrust his bent pincers into the dinosaur. The blade cut through bone, then punctured the nuclear Leviathan's lungs. Godzilla weakly roared in pain before grabbing a hold of Ebra's pincer. Godzilla afterwards stomped his foot on Ebra and then pushed the lobster away. The action cracked the crustacean's outer shell and ripped the arm from Ebra's socket. Godzilla tossed the arm away before walking over and stomping the downed creature. I think that should be downed creature. Under
I
his
believe
full
so.
weight.
Gray Shot doesn't know what past tense is.
True. After a few crushing blows by Godzilla's foot, and finally with a comma to accompany this, accompanied by sickly crunching, Ebra lay motionless with its body flattened. Pass.
Did you say ass or pass?
I believe he said
Oh.
pass.
Pass.
I heard him say ass.
Pass.
Again, I heard him say ass.
Yeah.
Why?
Enough! Gravemind yelled as it wrapped Godzilla in its grip with numerous tentacles. The hive mind lifted the beast high into the air before slamming him back onto the ground below. A large crater formed around the impact zone before the parasite removed its tentacles from the beast. Godzilla slowly lifted itself up, only for Rodan to lunge onto its backside. Godzilla frenzied as the disfigured flying creature jabbed his
Sounds
backside
sexy.
with its bony arms. Unable to reach his attacker with his arms, Godzilla swatted its backside with his tail. Each hammer-like blow slowed Rodan
Sexy.
more until the parasite continued to screech while it tried to lift itself up, simply for the nuclear leviathan to channel energy through its spines. Rodan form caught fire, burning the combat form, while Gabra charged toward the duo.
Burn
Target-
the combat form. Gotcha.
Ray at the mutated ogre. Godzilla burst into flames before the nuclear leviathan vaporized most of its
All
body.
burst into flames?
Gabra burst into flames.
Oh, there we go.
Looked shiny and then just took just fired in the
Wait,
face.
Gabra, don't you mean Cousin Larry?
Godzilla ended its race simply for the burnt remains of her band. The weakly turned to face the parasite's hive mind, Graveblind. The alien life form surrounded Godzilla with its tentacles, then proclaimed,
Wait, I just
What? What'd you realize?
Mass Effect.
You're close. You're close. I believe the term is Halo, actually.
Halo.
You mean those oranges?
Don't you mean red versus blue?
Yes. But,
Oh wait, it's definitely Ruby.
then proclaimed, submit,
Where's King Caesar getting disintegrated?
and your torment as well as my own. Godzilla, feeling slightly ill, roared at the parasite, signifying its will to press on. You will be food, nothing more, commented Gravemind as it sent every tentacle at Godzilla. Dozens of appendages sunk into Godzilla's flesh as others wrapped the beast to restrict its movements. As Godzilla's movements ceased, the Gravemind began to pull the king of the monsters into its body. We will now exist together, 2 corpses in 1 grave.
Oh, man.
Every quote from the actual games. This is all the shit that he says. Oh.
Gosh darn it, Gray Shot.
Oh my god.
By the way, I just wanted to
I could see. Kajux, remember how someone said in the comments of one of the videos that they wanted to make an animated short of this? This is what they need to make the animated short of.
Oh, yeah, just,
Oh.
we will now
I just-
exist together, 2 corpses in 1 grave.
Godzilla weakly moaned before the bears, apparently just hearing the sentence.
Ah.
Absorbed Godzilla into its form to convert the beast into food. Unable to move and with little energy, Godzilla felt his body slowly fall victim to the infection of the parasite. Its reaches dug ever deeper into his body until it tapped into his spinal column. Then Godzilla witnessed flashes in its mind, which were memories but not of his own making. Rodan, Gabara, Ebera, Gorosaurus, Kamunga, Varan, as well as every other creature the parasite consumed, memories flashed through Godzilla's weakening mind. A culmination of everything the parasite enveloped played throughout his mind. A portal appeared in the sky before a purple ship burst through the dimensional entryway. The vessel crashed after its entry, causing the denizens of the island to investigate the fiery wreckage. As they did, they were quickly overcome by the infection coating the vessel until everything on the island was under Gravemind's control. The sequence of events continued until Godzilla froze on a memory of Varan's. The infected creature, along with Kumonga, first killed his greatest ally, Nguirus, but then it focused on Junior. I think that's been 9, so...
I think that's definitely been more than 9. That was a little bit beyond. There are only like 12 indentations left. So, Joe, you take 6, and Alex will take 6.
Okay.
Perfect.
Once again, Tisk, fucking Tisk, Gray Shot. His son valiantly
Term of the day,
Valiantly.
valiantly.
defended himself, but was slowly slaughtered by 3 things. Varan, as well as Kumonga's.
Who's Varanus? Is this a new kaiju? Can we use it?
Varanus.
It's Baron Super.
Yes.
Wait a minute. This is something. Baroness sounds like Baroness. Is the Baroness a new kaiju? Is this going to be a Godzilla monster planet?
Yeah. No, I think we're just tying into G.I. Joe, if you don't know.
Yeah.
All right, keep reading.
Kumonga's disfigured forms, as well as a third. While Junior killed the 2 disfigured foes around him, Godzilla witnessed through Baron's dying eye Gravemind, much smaller, appear and impale his son.
Impaled. Should have been
No, it says
impaled.
impale.
Oh.
The memory replayed in Godzilla's mind, with each replay summoning more rage into the Leviathan's body. The fury transitioned to energy, which flowed throughout his form. The parasite cells instantly died inside of the reptile as the radiation became far too great for the infection. Gravemind painfully screeched at it, trying to combat the dinosaur's radiation by infecting deeper portions of Godzilla's being, only for a powerful crimson ray to erupt from its form. The atomic ray, while putting a massive hole through its form, impacted the Covenant ship. Well, I didn't know this was a crossover between Halo, Godzilla, and Alien Covenant.
Hey, I predicted Covenant.
You did. GVD, I think you were the first one to catch it. As soon as Gorosaurus came up, you were like, oh.
Yeah. Those red dots.
Every time, man.
Impacted the core of the vessel. A series of explosions occurred, breaking the seal on the still active reactor. Godzilla, with a rejuvenated fury, blasted another hole from inside of Gravemind before it escaped its biological tomb. The nuclear Leviathan turned it to face his opponent before discharging another spiral heat ray. The parasite recoiled in agony as a massive chunk of its hide burst into flame. Godzilla unleashed 2 more spiral heat rays, causing the flood form massive injury. The smell of burnt flesh filled the nostrils of Godzilla while he watched the flood form sulk to the ground. A massive pool of parasitic slime oozed from the hive mind's wounds as it lay dormant. This state did not last long before Gravemind slowly rose from its fallen state, its wounds pulsating as well as healing. Alex, do you want to read it?
Oh, where are we at? I'm sorry, I was lost in the void.
Did you think you defeated me?
Oh.
It's just a little
Did you think me defeated?
Okay, I'm not gonna blame. I'm not gonna blame Grayshaw for that dialogue because that was actually from Halo 3. And
All of these quotes have been from Halo. I did not make up a single one. I kid you not.
I know. I'm just saying. It's really weird how the Gravemind says it. Did you think me defeated? It just sounds weird to me.
Okay.
Did you think me defeated?
The guy speaks in tongue like Shakespeare. Can you, like...
Do you think me defeated? Anyway.
Yeah, dude, you should pull out the cutscenes. Like, he just goes on and on and on in, like, Shakespearean tones. Like, you will search one place, you will search another. By this day's end, we will be but brothers! And I kid you not, that's the last thing he says before he sends, like, John 117 and the Arbiter to, like, 2 different places on Halo.
Oh my goodness, what the heck?
Yeah.
The heck?
The heck?
Godzilla stood unfazed at the sight of his enemy's quick recover until he sensed something else.
I think that was
Radiation
recovery. Good job, me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Radiation was exponentially leaking from the purple vessel and in need of power. Godzilla dashed toward the ship. The parasite lashed its tentacles merely for Godzilla to evade the appendages as well as make it to the ship.
Dang, Godzilla's fast.
Chug,
Chug.
For such a thick kaiju, he sure is fast.
Heck yeah.
Dude, those thunder thighs are nothing but muscle, man.
Those things were built for speed.
Move over, Harley. I'm talking about the motorcycle.
I know King Ghidorah wants some of that Go-Gurtzilla.
Hey.
The lizard afterwards charged through the hole until it impacted the plasma reactor. Gravemind sprung toward the ship to prevent the reaction merely for the reactor to detonate. So it reacted.
I can see that.
A massive white light covered the area as a wave of superheated plasma enveloped the valley. In addition, everything in it under the cloud-filled sky. The parasite's infection burned away, leaving nothing but black soil as the plasma's extremely high temperature turned the ground to glass. Passed.
Okay. Gravemind, after the shockwave of ion energy began to crawl away, the explosion vaporized most of its body as well as all of its biological ass in the area. Using its remaining tentacles, the parasite crawled away so it could ensure the infection of the world only for something to block its route. How come the Gravemind didn't infect everything else before the kaijus?
Because the kaijus were the first thing it saw, and then it took them over.
Oh, well, it's stupid. It's retarded.
You're just mad 'cause you didn't come up with it. Actually, you're just mad.
I'm sorry. Am I supposed to, I can't say retard. I meant an exceptionally individual. Or an exceptional Gravemind. Okay, let me see it. The smoke from the detonation fogged its vision until the full moon escaped its cloudy prism lightning up the beam. Watch out, the Gravemind's turning into a werewolf!
What?
Gravemind shockingly discovered Godzilla, whose spines were glowing the purest white. The parasite, realizing that its global conquest was finished, pleaded, "Do I take life or give it? Who is victim and who is foe?" And of course, the Gravemind becoming the greatest, saying the greatest things of all time, even though they make no sense.
Yep.
As Godzilla, ready to unleash his entire girth-up energy in a large nuclear pulse, knew one thing for sure. He didn't care. He just knew this evil would die for killing his son. And all of his friends. Yeah, thanks for thinking of everyone else.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about good guy Anguirus.
Oh, it's okay.
Nobody
Amanda's
cares
still
about
alive
her,
because I don't think anything's been mentioned about him or her.
Just the cliffside. That's it.
Yep.
Which is property of Manda.
Nah, Amanda just... When Manda saw the whole Gravemind thing, Manda was like, "Oh, fuck this. I'm going back to my old friends, the Moo Empire."
Yep. Where he obviously be safe.
Yes.
until he got frozen later on and shattered into a billion pieces.
Yep.
The Leviathan's spines then flashed, rivaling the light of the moon before atomizing Monster Island, engulfing hundreds of miles of ocean and sparking the atmosphere.
Well, so much for Manda.
Yeah, that's so much for Amanda. It's the ending of match 100.
Oh, also, in case you're all wondering, I know where Titanosaurus was.
Where?
Titanosaurus was doing to some of the grave mine going. Yeah, at first Titanosaurus was gonna figure out a way to defeat them, but then got hit in the head over a pot,
Yeah.
and then went back to going.
Yeah.
100 miles above Earth's surface, a small fleet of infected ships watched the chaos unfold. A large chunk of appeared its path. The atmosphere's blaze. The central intelligence starting to Dwayne The Rock Johnson from the alien vessels watched painfully over the course of minutes as the event finally came to a close with the planet charred and deformed. All the life on the planet, its food, was now dead, leaving the alien parasite to face something so horrible it couldn't possibly fathom it. Shouldn't it be possibly?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Starvation. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the Halo games never came to be, because Godzilla blew up the fucking planet.
Actually, if you want to go to the next one, 2 more sentences, 2 more paragraphs.
Yeah, I know what it is. I'm making a joke. Ichiro, after the flash, awakened with a mind-numbing pain in his head. His head was in agony, and he could barely feel his ears under his headphones. Note to self, never wear the headphones and take LSD at the same time. I'm a teenager. Oh boy. Moan the teenager before he staggered out of his room and onto his balcony in a drug-induced haze. Ichiro looked into the nightmare sky to see the moon fall before he staggered back into his house to rest. As he did, a small meteor passed across the sky before it disappeared in the horizon.
Oh my god.
Well, I'll say one thing. Still better than 164.
Yep.
Because unlike 164, this was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah,
And actually kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
And not a bad Halloween kind of story.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
so 2 things. 1, yes, this is basically Godzilla X Halo with a horror theme.
Pretty
2,
much.
this is basically written as I speak. That's why there's no commas, because when I read this aloud, it makes perfect sense to me. But I obviously missed words, so I speak fast. That's why the sentences are like longer. Obviously, my other matches I've shortened it. But yeah, that's also that note, and yeah. Yeah, thought this was
my
good.
God. I'll admit, like,
Yeah.
I actually am kind of with GVJ or Alex here say that part of me actually didn't know where this was going. I was like, who's the threat? I actually didn't quite catch on to it because I'm not familiar. Like, I played Halo like 1 and 2, but I've never I'm not super knowing of the series, so it was like it was kind of interesting to see who's the big bad of this freaking story. It's like, oh, it's Gravemind from Halo. All right,
Yeah, I think Grayshot and I are the only real Halo fans here.
probably.
Woo!
Yeah.
So
They're a dying breed now.
yeah.
Yeah, since Halo 5 hit stores. God, what a terrible game. Terrible story.
Oh man, but yeah, freaking yeah, honestly, yeah, this was actually like there's definitely a lot of problems with it, but I do feel like it was at the very least there was compared to the stuff we've read this week, there's definitely more competence to this, even if it's far from perfect.
Well, that's because this author actually knows storytelling
Yeah.
Yeah.
and can actually make an entertaining one.
Yeah, totally.
And actually makes for a good crossover and what if story, like what if, which is something that would be later done in 185. It's like, what if kaiju got infected by something?
Yeah.
Totally.
Suck it, MM. I came up with the original, I came up with the original idea.
Yeah, the original idea. But yeah, freaking yeah, and honestly, yeah, that's kind of weird too. How this is like a weird prototype to match 185, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure MM's never read this. So
Plot twist he has.
yeah, right. Plot twist he has. But yeah, this is honestly, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's hard for me to call it. It's hard for me to call it great, but at the very least, it did feel like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like going back true to form. That's it. Those last two paragraphs.
Kaiju X, listen, I can't put this all on the poster. You're going too far. This is too long of a quote. It won't fit, man. It won't fit.
I will admit, those last two paragraphs, though, that was great. That was great. It makes this whole read worthwhile. Just Ichiro on LSD.
Just realizing this whole horror story, which I also like the flood. Like, oh yes, they basically ran out of the one thing they fear most, starvation, and it just wakes up with Ichiro in a drug-induced haze. Like, whoa, man.
That was great. That was
Whoa,
great.
man.
He should have woke. No, here's the perfect way to end this. Okay, so they're fearing what they fear most, starvation. Ichiro should have woke up hungry. He opens the fridge, and a flood comes out, and he eats it. Basically. Or like a Matongo, like, gets infected, so it can keep with the whole infected theme, like, and the hunger.
I think that was implied with the meteor going. I always thought that the meteor passing by was the events of what happened before the story happening. If that makes sense. So it's like Ichiro foresaw all that would happen to Godzilla. And by proxy...
Ichiro is now...
And then there's a flood-infected Minya at the end that says, Bravemind says I should infect my own foes.
Damn it, that's how I should have ended. I should have had him open the door and affected Minya attacks him.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah, just have him say the Gravemind says I should infect my own foes.
Well, that would also give us something that we need. Ichiro dying.
Yes. Something the fandom clearly needs. .exe.
Oh yeah, great shot.
Mm-hmm.
I found a infected Godzilla, if you're interested.
Well, before we can go on to our infected Godzillas, this has been Japanese horror story, a belated Halloween celebration thingy-majig. So, hope you guys enjoyed Mewtober. Hope you guys enjoyed your Halloween. And whatever the case be, see you next time in the next episode or whatever. Bye.
Later, guys.
See ya.